Well, yeah, good morning, folks. It's going to be a rough show today. I forgot my mouse at home. So I got to do the stupid little square thing in the middle here that I have no idea how to work. I'm a mouse guy.
Yeah, you just think it.
I'm a mouse guy.
Your way along. You probably remember all your tips and plants and all that stuff anyway.
Ken, I got a photographic memory.
I got a photomagenic memory. It's not quite as good as a photographic memory.
Okay.
It's
that's
like
the
next.
That's the dyslexic photographic memory.
Yeah, it's super good, but it's just not, you know.
I know, I rely on your memory, but let's see if Gurinder remembers how to put on the music for the tips and plants of the week.
There we go.
It's there, the tips and plants of the week. Watch. Well, here's my preliminary. Can I have a preliminary and a?
We'll see.
Okay. Watch out for those little trick or treaters this Wednesday evening.
Yeah,
that's a
good.
That's a tip.
Yeah.
My tip of the week is get your leaves and other yard waste into the green bin. That's if you do that. Some people compost. They don't use much of the green bin, but I use the green bin pretty regularly. Mm-hmm. Get them into the green bin, and because program's going to end at the end of November, so you got a couple of weeks left. Couple of pickups left.
Yeah, a couple of pickups. Yep.
Maybe 3. Plant of the week. Now, this is kind of an odd plant of the week for this time of the year, Ken, but I just had to do it, okay?
Okay.
Grape tomatoes.
Oh.
The reason being is that these grape tomatoes, I had millions. Well, not millions, but
lots.
Thousands. Many hundreds. On the plant.
Couple dozen.
They're a lot, most of them were green. Some of them were turning a little red. So I picked the works last week and a half ago. I picked the works. Picked them in clusters like
you kept the whole cluster.
I didn't pick individual tomatoes. I picked the clusters, put them in a bowl. We have been eating. They are ripening like crazy. So there you go.
All right, very nice. Well, I also have a tip and a plant. My tip of the week is that when the leaves fall from your fruit trees, that exposes leftover fruit, which you should remove. So check it out and remove any fruit that's left on your trees. Those are sources of disease that can cause problems on your trees next spring. So get them off of there. And nice way to get rid of them is usually just to bury them down in the ground somewhere in the garden. That's usually a good thing, about a foot deep or so, and that usually gets all the disease issues out of the way and pests and that sort of thing. All right, my plant of the week this week is the pyracantha, which is a firethorn, and it's looking fabulous out there. It's evergreen shrub with broad leaves, beautiful thing with bright orange berries, and they're just looking fabulous right now. And one of my favorite plants is just so easy. It's very, very thorny, so it's self-protecting. It protects itself from just about everything because of those wicked, huge thorns. There you go. Called a firethorn for good reason, I guess. The pyracantha, it's a good one. All right, check KelonaGardens.com. Watch out for GrowerCoach.com coming down the pipe soon.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Ken. I'd be a big fan. Ken, do you remember when people used to come into the garden center and ask for pyorrhea?
Yeah, I remember that. We never had any.
Do you have any pyorrhea today? No, I think you think pyracantha.
Or, a cross between pyracantha and spirea, somewhere in between.
Yeah, that's right. Or, you know what? It could be, it's Dad would say, well, it's sitting over there near the saliva.
Right.
Anyway, joke in the morning.
Yep.
A little too early for jokes this morning, but cool. Ken, when I came out, I was scraping the window this morning.
Oh, there
First
you go.
Saturday morning, I've had to scrape the window.
And I didn't.
Oh, you didn't have
First morning, I haven't. Actually, I haven't in the last 3 days. Had no frost, but prior to that, I had quite a few frosty mornings.
But my banana is still standing strong.
Oh, it hasn't melted in the frost yet.
My banana plant has not melted yet.
Well,
Mind you, I didn't look at it this morning yet. I'll have a look. It might be done.
By the time you get home, maybe after the show here, you'll be seeing a big pile of mush, maybe.
Oh, thank you, Gurinder. You just handed me a mouse. I got to remember not to stick it in my, because it looks exactly like my mouse, right?
Maybe it is your mouse. Maybe he grabbed it last time.
I wondered.
You might have left it behind.
You didn't steal my mouse, did you?
I didn't, but I'll make sure I grab it back from you before the end of the show.
I'll bet you will. Yeah, you're on the ball. I know that. I know that. Greg Cooper dropped by yesterday.
Oh, nice. How's old Greg doing?
He's doing well.
Garden Show Greg.
Garden Show Greg Cooper. He was with the Garden Show for many, many years. Mm-hmm. That's where we started together, Greg and I. And Greg was in Gurinder's position, actually. And it ended up, Greg became sort of part of the show. And when we moved from CKOV over to CKIQ, Greg came with me. And it was great. he lives now in Fauquier, BC, and he and his
there you
wife go out and get mushrooms. And he brought me a beautiful box of pine mushrooms.
Wow.
Pine mushrooms. They're fresh picked pine mushrooms.
Wow.
More than we can use. I've never cooked with pine. I don't cook anyway, but Donna's never cooked with pine mushrooms. And so she's going to make some mushroom soup with it and that sort of thing. But we've got lots of them. Got a big box of them. And so I'm just putting it out there. If anybody's out there. Oh, Ken's got his hand up. He wants some pine mushrooms. Okay.
Oh, I love mushrooms.
Ken gets some. First come, first serve. Ken gets some pine mushrooms. And so if anybody's interested, you can give me a call on my cell, or I do have my cell. Or you can even give us a call. Talk about pine mushrooms. It's mushroom season. People are out there collecting mushrooms.
Yep. When the temperatures cool off and get a little bit of rain in the fall, all through the month of October, that's the time for mushroom picking, that's for sure.
The mushroom that he has, the pine mushroom, is tricoloma magnivariae. That's the pine mushroom.
It doesn't sound nearly as delicious as it
pine
is.
Mushroom.
Yeah.
Pine mushroom. Anyway, there we go. If you want some pine mushrooms, we got them. But first of all, Ken has to get his little greasy hands into them first, and he'll take what he needs. Greasy little hands. Oh, speaking of grease, well, not really grease, but I was wanting to borrow my buddy Reg Hubner's generator, little gen set he's got.
Yep. It's
an old Briggs & Stratton motor, 5-horse Briggs & Stratton motor. And anyway, I went over to Reg's place, and the thing has been sitting there for about 12 years, hasn't been running.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So of course, and it had gas in it. So Reg, as soon as I smelt the gas tank, I went, ooh, this is not good. Old gas. And so we siphoned the gas out of the gas tank, put some fresh gas in, and tried to fire it up. Wouldn't fire. And so we poured a little gas down the carburetor and fired right up, and just fired enough. Well, it fired just enough.
Once it goes.
No. It was the carburetor, Ken, when I took that carburetor apart, gummed up or what? Just
really?
Solid gum. So I got some carburetor from Heps.
Yep, the cleaner.
Got the cleaner. I took the carburetor apart, took all the little needle valves and everything out, and blew and put wires through all the little orifices, and I cleaned her up, put her back in, and bingo. She's running like a clock. That's a gardener working. Well, you know where I learned that? Grade 10 power mechanics. I still have the book. And we take apart Briggs & Stratton motors and carburetors and stuff in grade 10 power mechanics. You learn stuff in school that you actually use.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
Something.
I learned that.
No,
how to
you
take apart.
You do, and it's interesting. I wonder if they still have shop now, right? Nowadays, do you think?
I think the kids still have shop, yeah.
Learn how to do some things with their
hands.
hands?
Back in grade 11, we took mechanics. And I took metalwork, woodwork, mechanics, band, hated French, hated geography. No, anyway.
English.
English.
Yep.
No, we took some of that too. But in mechanics, now I didn't actually take the mechanic course because you sort of had to be heading in that direction. I wasn't going to ever be a mechanic, so I didn't take the course. But I loved it because John Harder and I used to take apart our 53 Oldsmobile, and and so anyway, we went go into the mechanics room. Forget the name of the gentleman that was the teacher there, but anyway, he showed me around. He knew me through my dad. And he showed me around, and they had this old flathead Ford V8 that had been taken apart and put back together so often. Like, I think they got it in about 1948, and this was 1968. So 20 years of taking it apart, putting it back together, taking it apart. I mean, the screws were actually loose in it because they had been worn out taking it apart so many times. But it still ran. They got it together and fired it up every year. Got that. That's part of the thing.
That's pretty cool.
Nowadays, though, the engines don't even look like that. They don't.
No, they don't have carburetors anymore.
They don't have anything.
No.
You open a hood and you don't see.
There's a computer sitting there.
Yeah, this big flat thing. Couldn't. I'm glad, I really enjoyed the old days when you had a motor to work on.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, now you actually appreciate the mechanics have they've got a little bit tougher job, I think, now than they used to have. 'Cause before, it seemed like, the parts all made sense, and there was a coil, and then there was a
now they just
carburetor.
plug the wire in and read the computer, though.
Yeah,
Ken,
absolutely.
this is a gardening show.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This is a gardening show.
You had me going there.
I know. We were going to get into mechanics.
We were talking about generators,
generators, and all that. 250-862-2525 to get through to Ken and I today. It is the Garden Show, the AM 1150 Garden Show, the only one garden show called AM 1150 Garden Show. There might be somewhere in the world another one, but not very close.
No,
not
it can't
within
be
spitting distance. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
So what we're gonna do is invite your calls, and then you can call in. It's gardening. Don't be calling in on mechanicking things like how to fix my radiator or that. We don't know. We don't know that stuff. But but we know about gardening, and that's what we want to talk to you about. And there's other things we're going to talk about without you even phoning in. So, but do phone in. We appreciate your calls. It's what drives the show. We really love to hear from you. So please call in right now as soon as you can. 250-862-2525, and we'll be back with more AM 1150 Garden Show. Don Burnett, Ken Selville at your service, because we're here on a beautiful Saturday. It's blue sky today. I guess it's going to rain again tomorrow. But that rain, you don't have to shovel it. So that's pretty good. We haven't shoveled anything yet. Fingers crossed, touch wood. We don't want any of that.
No, well, just a little manure. That's about it.
We've been shoveling manure in many ways. But last year we went to Australia on the 2nd of November, and the 3rd of November it just stormed. The airport got shut down. So thank goodness we got out. Anyway, Pat, we're inviting you to the show. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning. Good morning. Another sunny day. There's no going to a movie today. We're waiting for a rainy Saturday to go to a movie, but it's not happening.
There you go. Yeah.
Anyway, my question goes back a couple of weeks when Ken was mentioning about bunch grass and how it comes to be. We inherited a lawn this last year that is all bunch grass, and we watered it a lot, and it's looking nicer. But will it ever return from its bunch grass form, or is it just rototill it up and start again?
No, it will. What I would do is I would just do a once around the yard. Like I would use a soil probe, which is really fast to do, but I would just test what's underneath the ground, like how much topsoil you actually have. Yeah. So you would go around and I guess you could do it just with a shovel, just push a shovel into the ground until you hit something hard, basically. And you could tell from that just if you have topsoil. So if you have some topsoil that's reasonably thick, say 5 or 6 inches or so, you'd be fine to just go ahead and renovate the turf itself. And so applying some new seed on that, and just do you have an automatic irrigation system or
no?
Yeah. So what happens without the automated system is that it's kind of hard to keep up with the hand watering, especially when it's hot in the summertime. It is kind of nice because you can manage the water a little bit more closely than you can with the automated system, but the automated system just doesn't miss. It's always on that cycle, so the lawn performs so much nicer.
Oh, well, I guess in a way I do. I have the automatic sprinkler that will attach to my faucet, and then I can set up Ask Sprinkler to run it every so many hours. I did do that with some new seedings that I did. So okay, that's
a good idea. And then and that's exactly what happens is as I mentioned. I think I mentioned that might have been last week's show, but how a lot of grasses are bunch grasses. They have the ability of giving off chemicals that prevent other grasses from growing around them. So it prevents competition, basically. But with our regular lawns, because we have automated systems, they're constantly diluting all this chemical that's given off by the grasses and washing it away so it has no effect. And then thus the lawn appears, all the grasses grow tight together. But when we dry them out, then the chemical builds up again, and it starts to create this bunch grass effect where the plants are all individuals.
Okay.
So yeah.
So if we find we don't have the topsoil underneath, which I suspect we don't, then can we put topsoil over top of the grass and seed in, like just leave the grass that's there. It's looking nice and green, but it is, and it's very close together, but it's definitely in bunches.
Yeah, you could do that for sure. One of the things that you do is use a weed whacker and just cut it right to the ground, basically. So you go over the whole lawn and just cut it right down, basically off at the ground level, and then you could apply some soil over that and then re-turf it. But you might just think about that, the irrigation as something to consider having installed at some point, and this is an opportunity. Like I say, if everything's okay and you've got a decent topsoil, like I'm surprised sometimes. I go to a place, it looks, I think it's going to have lots of topsoil and has like 1 inch. And then I'll go to another place that I think has no topsoil and it's got 3 feet. So you just never know until you go and actually test it. So
yeah. Okay. Well, and would you recommend doing that now in the fall, or is that something I'd leave till spring?
Well, it's okay to do some of that in the fall, but you're really best is to get through this winter and start fresh in the spring, and then that'll just give you a really good start, probably around the end of March or so.
Good. Okay.
All righty.
Thanks a lot for that. Yep.
Okay. Thanks
Bye-bye.
for calling. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Pat. Appreciate the call. And Ken, you're on the line.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Is it better to hand dig your garden or rototill it, or does it make a difference?
Best is hand dig.
Is that right?
Rototilling is, I don't want to, make all the rototiller salespeople mad at us, but rototilling is something that you want to be very, very scarce with. Maybe once a year would be okay, but you just pulverize the soil and you ruin the tilth of the soil. Structure of the soil. And Ken, maybe you can elaborate on that. We have these things called PEDs, which are the large chunks that people, they think that's bad for the garden. All those large chunks called PEDs are important for the soil structure.
Yeah, exactly. And the large ones are PEDs, and the small ones, it's just a term called friable. And friable soils are crumbs, full of many little crumbs. And that's what creates little air spaces between these crumbs where the water and the oxygen survive. Of course, roots breathe oxygen, so they need to have those spaces. So if we pulverize it into a powder form and then wet it down, it just forms like a block.
Yeah.
And you lose all that beautiful...
There's no air.
And it takes time. It takes another year or two to develop new PEDs and new friability. So I would suggest definitely, if anytime you can do it by hand, do it by hand.
Well, sure, and it's a good workout to boot.
Well, it is, yeah. And so if you have one of the self-propelled rototillers, then what you can do is cultivate or disc or do one of the... Well, that's what the farmers used to do, is cultivate and disc and plow and just kind of turn the soil. That brings air into the soil, but it doesn't pulverize the soil. Mm-hmm. When they invented the rototiller, they didn't realize what they were doing. They're really you can have a problem with the soil doing rototilling. Now, you can walk a rototiller, like the front end type tillers, and I've run lots of them. We rototill lots. But if you walk it, and just let it walk across the ground, lifting, doesn't go very deep, but then it doesn't really, in many cases, that doesn't matter. I mean, the soil, it's just amazing what your garden will do. But digging with a spading fork or a spade is the way to go, and then the top surface, just take a rake and rake it along so you crumble that top surface enough for the seeds, a little seed bed,
Mm-hmm. You know what? I went out the other night, in the middle of the night. I don't know why I did this, but I went out and I walked on my lawn, and I couldn't believe my eyes. The whole lawn was covered with worms. Mm-hmm. There were hundreds of them out there, hundreds.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. What does that mean?
Well, Ken, they're telling you that it needs aeration. They're aerating the lawn for you.
It used to need aeration.
Yeah, you're right. They're aerating the lawn for you, but they're telling you that there's no air down there, and they're coming up for air.
Really?
And so quite often that indicates that you should be, doing an aeration in the spring and a top dress of sand and stuff. But however, it's just what dew worms do.
No kidding. Yeah, but I mean,
that's why
they kind of unreal. See all these worms.
They call them night crawlers for a reason.
No kidding.
Yeah,
that's enjoying your program, gentlemen. Have a great day.
Well, thank you, Ken. We appreciate your call. Thanks for participating.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Yeah, it's fascinating. And this whole thing about getting air into the soil is the key. and we teach our employees to crack the soil. We talk about cracking it, and but you could use a pick for that. You don't have to necessarily turn it over, but if you can slam a pick into the ground and just crack it and just open up those little spaces without disturbing it.
It's where we had that diamond tooth harrow.
Yeah.
You know, the diamond tooth harrow, these big teeth, and just drag that around. That's kind of cracking it too.
It just breaks it up. It's almost like subsoiling, where they use the big claws and just drag them through the soil, and it rips it up.
Much better than pulverizing.
Yeah, pulverizing isn't very good.
We have Vicky joining us. Good morning, Vicky.
Good morning. I sent you pictures of my euphoria, wondering whether those were flowers or a fungus
Euphorbia?
or something on my plant.
Yes.
And now it's got 3 or 4 new buds coming out.
Yep.
And those ones that I sent you pictures of, they've died, but they've left like a little round ball behind. And what I'm wondering is, if I take that little ball, if I pick that off, will I be able to grow a plant out of that?
That's a seed. That's a seed. Those things. That's the Madagascar jewel is the common name for that, and it's a very cool plant. And I've had mine for years now, and they create their own babies. These little tiny seeds will drop down to the base, and babies will sprout in the pot, and so you can transplant those out, and that's what you're seeing there.
Okay, so if I pick, if I pick them off, that won't damage it, or should I just wait till it falls
I wait till they drop off.
Okay.
Yep, I would.
Good. It's a very happy plant.
Oh, good. I'm glad, Vicky, and your little crassula is doing very well in my greenhouse too.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks for calling.
And we have Rick join us. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
I think you're wrong about those worms. The reason they're coming up is because it's the end of fishing season.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got 2 quick questions for you. I have a trumpet lily. It's about 3 feet high right now, and I'm wondering whether I should cut it off now, or cut it down now, or should I just leave it for a while, because you talk about the energy being stored in the stalk.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's pretty late in the year now. I don't think you're talking about a garden lily that has the trumpet shape, and the foliage is still there. Yeah, you can cut it back now. I mean, it's not doing much now, but certainly I'm sure that bulb is happy because you've left it this long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, well, I'll cut it down, because I cut everything else down. My peonies and everything else is all cut.
The only thing I do have a tip on that is that if it's an outdoor lily, like a regular lily that's grown in the ground, is that I always cut the stem about 8 to 10 inches high, and I leave it there so that I know where it is. And especially in the springtime, I don't want to step on lilies when they're just pushing up. So I always leave the stems exposed so I remember where they are.
And they'll fall off themselves in the spring, I guess.
As soon as they start shooting up, you can see them, and then you can just get rid of those. They're just sitting there by that time.
Stick by that time,
Yeah.
One other question, and I think I know the answer to this, but I thought I'd ask anyway. Speaking of mushrooms, I got them all over the front yard.
Mm-hmm.
I live downtown, and they're putting in the fourplexes all around me, but they're also digging down over 4 feet and putting gravel, because it used to be a lake bed, right? Or lake shore.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing I can do about that, is there?
About what? The mushrooms?
Yeah, the mushrooms.
No, enjoy them.
No, I don't eat mushrooms.
Oh, I know, but just they're part of the yard. I mean, they're not doing any harm.
Okay. If dogs eat them or anything like that, does it affect them at all?
You're not going to have amanitas and things like that. And dogs don't readily eat mushrooms. I mean, if they do, they're usually the tasty ones. And it's not a. We worry too much about mushrooms. The mushrooms.
I'm not worried about what they look like. I'm just worried about.
No. Most of those mushrooms you see, do they look like a money's mushroom?
I'm sorry?
Do they look like a money's mushroom when they come out?
Yeah, there's a dome on them, huge one. Some of them are like 3 inches, 4 inches across.
Okay, yeah. A lot of those are meadow mushrooms, horse mushrooms, the Agaricus campestris and Agaricus, other Agaricus families. None of them are going to be harmful. Some of them are edible, some of them aren't. But you got to know what you're doing to pick them.
Yeah, that's right. I know that.
But and if you're concerned, just pick them and throw them in the green bin. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I get a bunch. Okay, well, thank you, fellas. You have a wonderful day.
Rick, thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Rick.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ken, we're going to go for a break right now because we need one.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, have you ever stuck 2 110 leads into the ground to get the worms to come up?
Nope.
fun. Okay. Anyway, we won't. We're not suggesting you do it.
No.
But if you take 2 screwdrivers, anyway, we're going to take a short break. We invite your calls, 250-862-2525, and I'm not going to start crying this time, okay? And we'll be back with more AM 1150 Garden Show. Okay, we are back on the air with you and enjoying every darn minute of it, of course. We always do. We're looking at, this is our total of 1,668 shows, including the former station that we were on back in CKOV days. But this one, basically, this is show number 995. On December 1st, it's going to be our 1,000th show.
Yeah.
We're looking for ideas, and we're running out of time here, Ken. We're looking for ideas how to celebrate.
Yeah, 5 shows left, or
Grinder's going to
bring
5 shows. We're going to bring some champagne, I bet. Are you?
I was going to say, let's just do shots on air.
Do shots on air, yeah, right. Gardening shots.
Yeah, vegetable juice.
December 1st. Yeah, well, that's going to be fun. Anyway, December 1st will be our 1,000th show.
We'll have a few special things going on.
I'm wondering if I'm tied up that weekend. I got to.
Yeah, maybe you're not even available.
I might be.
You never know.
Who knows? I don't know what weekend that is. Anyway, we're going to go back to the phone lines, and we're not going back to the phone lines. Oh, there was a call on the line, and they dropped out. But that's okay, because I want to talk to you about, well, first of all, my plant of the week. I got to elaborate on my grape tomatoes. One grape tomato, and I think I bought it at a garden center, maybe a couple of bucks or whatever it was for this grape tomato. Ken, we've been eating grape tomatoes all summer long, and this tomato is just covering a huge area on a wall, like I'm climbing up strings onto this trellis, and it was just productive.
It's in the greenhouse now. Is it in the greenhouse?
No, I didn't put it in the greenhouse. No? You know, greenhouse. I love my greenhouse, but you know what's the biggest white fly attractor in the world?
Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So I've got one tomato plant in there, and I'm watching it like a hawk.
Yeah.
If I turn the leaves every day, and if I see anything that looks like a larva, a live mosquito, I was going to say, a white fly, bingo, she gets squished.
Yeah.
I'm working real organically, you know what I mean? But there's the pictures of my grape tomatoes, bowls and bowls of these things now. And I've got a green bowl, I've got the semi-green bowl, and I've got the semi-ripe bowl, and I got the ripe bowl. And Ken, you just walk into the kitchen, and this bowl of ripe tomatoes is sitting there. Just grab a handful, and just chew them like candy. They're just delicious.
I find they're great at the end of a day. Like if if you're exhausted, especially in the summertime, it's nice. You come in and grab a handful of cherry tomatoes. Like it just totally, I find it re-energizes you at the end of a day. I find it's one of those things I look forward to. Head straight from the car straight into the garden, do the quick browse, and graze through it, and away you go.
And I've done the Sweet 100s and Sweet Millions and all the different cherry tomatoes. Remember the Tiny Tim? There was Tiny Tom. There was anyway.
Tiny Tim. I think
Tiny Tim tomato, yeah. And they were the determinate ones when they come on all at once.
Yep.
Good for baskets and tubs. I've tried them all, but it's that grape tomato there's a taste. There's an explosion in your mouth when you try one.
Yeah, there's other factors too that affect the taste. That I found is I had them growing in 3 different bins, and each bin has sort of slightly different soil. But they're all in the same lighting condition. The watering is pretty consistent. It's automated. But I definitely found that one of the batches was definitely way more flavorful. I didn't have any grape tomatoes, but I just had, I think there were sweet, I think I had sweet 100s.
Sweet 100s,
yeah. There was really many, many hundreds
sweet
of them.
Millions. I can believe Sweet 100s, but when they say Sweet Millions, I don't believe them for a minute.
No.
There's no way there's a million.
No, but there's
tomatoes.
A lot. They do produce a lot. But all cherry tomatoes.
That's exaggeration. That's fake news.
That's
fake news.
Fake news. Yeah.
Can't have a million tomatoes on a plant. I mean,
no.
That's selling something under false pretenses.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, but they
Fake news.
do produce a lot, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And even those the grape tomatoes, they produce a ton. And once you get them into that late August timing, I find that when the nights cool off, it really intensifies the flavor. I like it. Those tomatoes that you pick around the end of August, early September, they tend to be the best. I find the flavor is just better because the nights cool off a little bit.
They do cool off. And I bringing these tomatoes in after a couple of light frosts, like the tomatoes didn't get hit because the frost was down low, but these tomatoes, they seem to be ripening a lot better. They say, oh, thank goodness I'm in the house.
Well, now, that's just it hasn't really been warm enough to do much for tomatoes out there. That's for sure.
We're done now. I picked all my peppers. I picked a peck of pickled peppers.
I knew that was coming.
And anyway, today, guess how long today is? How long do you think it is?
Morning till night.
Morning till night. Yeah. Sun up to sunset. What do you think?
Yeah.
How many hours?
Oh, I would
Take a stab.
I would say 9 3/4 hours.
Boy, you're close.
Am I close?
Yeah, 10 hours and 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so you're about 20 minutes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, 10 hours. Yeah,
10 hours
I kind of
and
thought
4
it was
minutes,
less
yeah.
than 10 hours.
10 hours and 4 minutes.
Not much, eh?
It's 5 hours and 45 minutes shorter than the longest day in June.
What time is sunset? Does it say that in your?
Well, it would if I look back at the website, but I don't.
Oh, you just
I don't take
gathering data.
I'm gathering data. It's 10 hours and 4 minutes long, 5 hours and 45 minutes shorter than the longest day in June when it was 16 hours and 21 minutes. Shortest day is coming up on December 22nd, when it will be 8 hours and 5 minutes long. 8 hours and 5 minutes. That's not
pretty short.
Much light.
No, you should be sleeping a lot more at
third
that time.
of the 24 hours is light. Only a third is light.
That's making me tired just
I
thinking about it.
know. And then what happens?
But the farther north you go, the less that even becomes, right?
No.
I wonder what it is in Prince George.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is in Yellowknife.
Well, when I was doing some work up in Slave Lake, 2011, I was up in Slave Lake for about 3 weeks doing the fire damage appraisals up there. And
was that in the summer?
That was in
midsummer.
It was in June. And Ken?
Days were long.
No kidding. 10 o'clock and it's still light out.
Yep. Like
still light out.
You can still see the sun.
Yep.
It's
Crazy.
above the mountains. Yeah.
And that was, that was, even longer. Later than that, it was light. More like 11. I remember thinking, oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
It feels like it's 7 o'clock.
Yep.
And so that's it.
happens.
And then of course you go close to the to the equator. Nothing happens.
No, it's pretty similar.
Just
yeah,
nothing.
It just stays about the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Sunset's always about the same time. You go down to the beach at the same time every night and see it go down.
All through there. And then you go down to Australia, down the southern hemisphere. It's similar to what we have here, only
it's kind of opposite. Yeah.
Summer is winter.
And you
and
get up
winter
in the
is
morning and the sun goes down, and you go to bed at night and the sun comes up.
Summer is winter.
It's backwards.
Winter is summer.
Yeah. It's completely backwards down there.
Yep. You see the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
I wonder if they say that. Do they say up there when they say up there in Canada? Or do they say down there in Canada? We say down there. And it is the down under.
We say down under, and they say up over.
Up in there. I can't figure it out.
Away, like the Newfoundland folks say, he's away. I think because he's away. In other words, somewhere else. We're going to invite your calls again. Please call. Stop this nonsense.
Stop the nonsense.
We'll take your calls on gardening. It is a gardening show. 250-862-2525 to get through. We've got 15 minutes left in the first part of the show, and then we got a whole hour left after that. A brutal gardening show. Brutal. And,
well, we're going to be talking about really intensive gardening.
Yeah. Oh,
I want to talk a little bit about the composting.
Big surprise.
With all these leaves around,
we
should be doing something with them.
We should. How to compost.
Leaves,
Ken's
particularly.
A quick fix on composting.
Yep.
And that's what we'll do when we come back with more AM 1150 Garden Show. Okay, reminder, and I've seen it floating around Facebook quite a bit, this invitation to come to with us, with Ken and I, to the Northwest Flower and Garden Show. And Ken, thanks for putting that on Facebook.
Yeah.
I see it show up quite a bit, and don't take that invitation lightly, because that invitation is an invitation to 4 days of fun in February that we've done now. This is our I'm going to tell you, it has been the, how many times?
I think you said 15.
Well, I'll just tell you right now how many times, okay?
Something.
It is we started in 2005. So we got 1, 2,
well,
3,
then it's
4,
more.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This will be our 15th year, Ken.
That's what I
Notice
said.
my math skills, how I
Yeah,
had
I
to count
noticed
down.
you had. Yeah, I noticed.
I mean, most people say, started in 2005. This is 2019.
That's true.
This is, you add,
Yeah.
right? This is the 15th.
It's not that easy.
Wait a minute. We are, we're going to head there, and that's on, this is on,
Yeah, February 21st.
yeah, February
this
21st.
year, yeah.
February 21st. And so we're going to go, and I'm just going to
It's always a
that
fabulous
back
show down there with the,
pull that up. Yep. Oh,
the
it's great.
massive displays
Yep.
and massive landscape displays,
Mhm.
massive art displays, massive metalwork displays, you name it, plants galore, of course. It's
It is
fabulous.
the second largest flower and garden show in North America.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a gardener to enjoy this.
No,
We talk about garden shows. You don't have to be a garden show to enjoy this trip.
Good show.
You don't have to be a gardener to enjoy this trip.
Mhm.
A gardener, of course, you feel like you've gone to Mecca.
Yeah.
But a regular person that just enjoys beauty and whatever, you're just going for a nice break. You enjoy the show. It's great. You get to see Seattle in the evening, and it's a great break. So anyway, if you want to get on the bus with us, then you want to phone the Kelowna office of Sun Fun Tours, and that is 250-763-6133. And we're going right back to the phone lines, and we have Charlie on the line. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning. So I hear you're looking for a pine mushroom recipe.
A pine mushroom recipe, yes.
Okay, so if you've got a rice cooker,
I can write this down, Charlie. Just give me a second here. I got to find a spot on my computer to do it. Here we go. Pine mushrooms. Watch how fast I can type. Mushrooms. Okay, there we go.
so if you've got a rice cooker, so
Rice cooker. Okay.
yeah, you need about 2 to 3 pine mushrooms, depending how big they are.
Okay.
2 cups of rice.
To 3 mushrooms. Okay, and then 2 cups of rice.
2 cups of rice.
2 cups of rice.
2 boneless, skinless chicken thighs.
Ooh, 2 boneless. Less chicken thighs.
3 tablespoons of soy sauce.
3 tablespoons soya.
Half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of sugar. Sorry.
Half teaspoon of sugar.
Half teaspoon of salt.
Sugar and half teaspoon of salt. Same as salt.
Yeah,
Same salt. Okay.
And the liquid going in, you need 1 cup of water and 1 cup of chicken stock.
1 cup of, I'm getting hungry already, water, and 1 cup chicken stock. Okay.
So then you're cooking the rice just like you would in the rice cooker itself with the liquid. The only thing is you're cutting the chicken breasts into strips and the pine mushroom into strips too.
Chicken.
That sounds really good.
Into strips.
Yeah. Oh, and there's also, you need 1 carrot grated.
Oh.
So you can just combine that all in one pot.
Mm.
You keep the carrots, the chicken, and the mushroom on top of the rice in the liquid and just let it cook in the rice cooker.
Wow. It steams.
So you cook all this stuff together, right?
All together in the rice cooker.
One
Wow.
pot in the rice cooker, and yeah.
Are the pine mushrooms, are they slow to cook? A little slower than a regular, say, Money's mushroom? Or?
Well, it depends. Because the stem itself can be pretty woody, right?
Okay.
Towards the bottom, but the top, like the head itself, is a little bit softer. So it cooks about the same, but it's you could substitute shiitake mushrooms into it if you want. If you didn't have the pine mushrooms, if they were in season.
Wow.
Sounds great.
I'm going to get my dear wife Donna to try this. I'd burn it.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing is on the rice. Usually, you need Japanese short grain rice. So it's like sushi rice.
Oh, Japanese short grain rice.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds delicious.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
Not a problem. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay,
we'll let you
thanks.
know. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Yeah, ooh, that sounds really good.
Ooh, I'm hungry already.
Yep.
So there we go. We're getting very close to the end of the session here until we do our next whole hour of garden show.
Mm-hmm.
My clock says 8:57. How about yours? Oh,
Nope.
And this is he's the thumbs up. So Gurinder says yes.
Okay.
So your
Yeah,
clock,
so I
you
have
need to your-
time for a tip on leaf molding.
Oh yeah.
Because we were just talking about
mold,
all the leaves that come down. And every year, every fall, I always talk about leaf mold. It's the time of year to start stockpiling your leaves. And some people put them into garbage cans. It's something that you got to think like a fungus. We've been talking about fungus. You think like fungus, they like to have sort of that still air, moist conditions, kind of a situation where they can actually mold a little bit. And it works really well in a garbage can. And usually you want a little bit of drainage out the bottom, so a tiny hole just to let any extra water drain out. But those leaves, if they're moist when they go in there, they're gonna just turn out beautiful by spring. When the typical leaf molding is done just in a big pile, so where you just pile them up, and you just leave them in that pile. Sometimes it takes a full season, like a full summer season, to get them to the point where they're nicely molded. So it takes a little longer using just nature in a pile, but you don't have to disturb it much. You don't have to turn it much. It's sort of passive composting. It just does it on its own, and we're using predominantly fungus rather than bacteria, which in normal, what we say, active composting is a combination of fungus and bacteria, but it involves a lot of oxygen and a lot of heat where you're turning it every day, and it's breaking down super fast. But the leaves take time.
God, that was interesting, Ken.
There you go.
And we're just about out of time now for our for the this part of the show. How are we doing, Grinder? Going to count us down? We got the 30 seconds, right? Okay, 30 seconds. We can give out the phone line for if you want to call in and get your gardening questions answered. 250-862-2525. Ken and I are getting all ready and set for the next whole hour of garden show. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, and the blue skies out there, a little bit frosty this morning, but it is a beautiful fall day. We will be back with more AM 1150 Garden Show. Yep, we're back again, and you look out the window here and you think, oh my goodness, it's the middle of summer.
Oh,
but
it's so
not.
beautiful out there.
Beautiful out there. Now it's going to change a bit.
Moon. The moon is out.
The moon is out there. The moon is out there, and this reminds me of the day we were in Vancouver with Craig McCaw, former member of the Poppy family. He's quite an astronomy expert now, and he's got all sorts of cool equipment, big telescopes in his backyard. And first of all, we were looking directly at the sun. He had filters so you could look directly at the sun, and you could see these little things coming out of the sun, like they look like feathers coming out of the sun. These are explosions. These are sun somethings, explosions of some sort. Sun activity. And this little thing, like if you looked at an orange, it would be like a little, an eighth of an inch of a pin tip sticking out of that orange. Mm-hmm. And Craig said you could fit thousands and thousands of Earths into that little spot. Yep. Yeah, it's amazing. And so
it's big. The sun is big.
Thank you. Grinder's just corrected me. Solar flare, that's called.
That's what it is.
Solar flare. And out today, we look west here out of the window, and we see the moon. That little white thing. Don't let it scare you. I know Halloween's coming, but it's just the moon. It's nothing more than the moon. It's just the moon staring down at us. And it's a white moon because in the daytime, that's what it looks like. It's a reflection off the sun on the moon.
I wonder if they garden on the moon.
And
who's they anyway? I don't think anybody's up there gardening.
No, I know, but I've heard there's moon dust on there.
There's probably moon dust.
There's probably
here
too
on
much
Earth.
rototilling going on the moon is what's happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, Steve is on the line, and thank goodness you're going to save the day, Steve.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, moon dust is, I guess, the frost when the moon is out.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
There you go. You know what the moon dust is.
Yeah.
Is the frost.
we could write a song about that, Steve.
Right. I got a couple of questions. I got a peach tree and a plum tree, Italian plum, and it's about 5 years old. Mm-hmm. What's better, to prune it in the fall or do it in the springtime?
Well, I pruned. Actually, I did quite a bit of my pruning on my peach tree this year because I wanted to bring it down. I saw these peach trees down south and how nice and umbrella they were. So I did that in early August. I gave my tree a little trim. We'll see what happens there. You can prune just about any time of the year. But traditionally, Ken, when you manage that peach orchard, traditionally you would go out in the spring, right?
Well, we would do it in around the end of February. It was sort of with soft fruits or trees that have delicate stems, peaches, apricots, and nectarines particularly. Not so much the plums, but you would do them around that end of February, mid to end. For homeowners, you can do it anytime. I just wait for good weather.
Yeah.
Like an orchardist has to get out there because they have the time is not on their side, right? They have to get acres and acres of trees done before spring hits. But for the homeowner, you can go out in March even when the weather's a little more decent,
Yep. Yeah, so there's no real rule of thumb except that traditionally that's what we've done is that
you don't want frost damage, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing you do if you prune in the fall right now, then those open wounds are going to become infected potentially with geranium blight, and they die back.
Better after the fruit is off.
Oh yeah.
To take the long ones off.
You bet. Take the fruit off.
Okay,
for sure.
Thanks very much.
You're very welcome, Steve. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Bye.
Thanks, Steve.
And right, we're going to open the lines, 250-862-2525 to get through to us today. We're here answering your gardening questions. I want to remind you that if you missed that Xeriscape class that was a few weeks ago in Kelowna, there's one in Penticton, okay, October 27th, that's today, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You better rush, better hustle. You're going to get down. But they're having that, and that is in Penticton at the Shafford Center, room 204, 760 Main Street in Penticton. Mm-hmm. So that's that Xeriscape class. So we're just about out of time to get there. Well, you could get there in time. Still,
we'd have
you
to speed
step
possibly.
On it.
Yeah,
Dad used to say, "Step on it." So we'll just knock this little reminder off. We don't need that anymore. Okay, we're going to go to the back of the phone lines. And we have Addie on the line. Good morning, Addie.
Good morning, guys. Are you going to put out a cookbook, Don?
A cookbook, yes.
Well, you were taking recipes. I thought maybe you were going to...
the Garden Show cookbook.
It would be like craft dinner.
Addie, it's the big joke in
Campbell's
my family.
soup.
I don't even do the barbecue. I can't even barbecue anything. I can make kind of like an omelet. Because you don't have to be
kind of like
well,
it's either an omelet or not an omelet.
What I do wrong is I stick too many spices. I start throwing these spices in to give it, and it tastes like mud because there's too many spices all conflicting with each other, right? Fighting.
Don't invite me over to your house for breakfast. It's okay, Don.
Oh no, Dawn, I'll cook for you. Yeah. She's good. She's a giant.
Don, is it too late to plant my grapes?
No, it's not too late at all.
Oh, okay. So
they might as well be in your place and my place.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Hopefully this afternoon I can swing by.
Yeah, or maybe this evening we're having a get-together in our yard. Maybe this evening you want to pop by.
Oh, is it a Rockets game this evening?
Oh, well, so there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. No.
Ken's nodding.
New coach. Yeah.
New coach, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you guys should get together. Where do you sit?
Oh God, I have no idea. I'd have to ask Bill. You walk in the entrance and you walk into the first upstairs and we're up there.
Oh, you're across from us.
Okay, well, wave to Ken. He'll wave to you, Addie.
Okay,
put a big sign up.
Like a plan.
I'm Addie.
Yeah, bring a big 4x4 foot sign.
Yeah, I'll bring a big sign.
Good.
And I'm Addie.
Yeah, people behind you won't like it, but that's okay.
Okay, do you have a gardening question?
I have, yes. I'm going to plant my amaryllis today. Is that too late for Christmas?
Not too late at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
So they should be okay for that.
I think it. Well, I can't guarantee. They have a mind of their own, so don't be.
Yeah, they do. Last year it bloomed for Easter.
Well,
wow.
Yeah, I know.
It was
It
slow.
takes a while.
I haven't
Right.
planted mine yet, but I'm about to. You've reminded me.
Mine's
Yeah,
still green.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even chopped mine off yet.
Oh, Ken, you're gonna be
I
be
know.
June before.
Wow, you're going to be blooming for
Yeah.
whatever.
Spring, yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
yeah.
Spring bloom.
The lupins are, they're perennials. Do they reseed themselves?
Yes, they do. And the plant is not generally long lived, but they tend to self seed, and you never quite know what you're going to get from the seed. So they generally come up in a mixture of colors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So unless it's a specific one, there are a few that only come in one color, but most of the ones that you get on the market are generally mixes, or if it says, say, it has a name like Russell hybrid or something like that, then if you know the name of it, generally you'll know more about the history of it.
And I'm also going to plant my garlic today. How deep down do I plant garlic?
3 inches or so is generally about right. That's sort of where I go. And I've had pretty good success with that. 3 inches.
And then so it will be ready for like April, May, June, or when is it sort of ready?
It's ready in July. Yeah, in July.
Well, not till July.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you let them grow. They'll shoot up in the spring, and they start to grow in the spring. So then they'll have to put on a whole bunch of growth and grow that bulb through early summer, and then usually around the 20th to the end of the month, around in July, it's usually that's garlic harvesting time.
So does the greens wilt?
They start to die back a little bit in the summer. It just depends on the growing conditions. They kind of like to be in a free draining soil where it's maybe even in the summer just slightly drying. Between waterings, they don't like to be mucky wet. So
okay.
So
I'm going to have to find a different place than what I was planning for them then. In that case,
nice and sunny and free draining is ideal.
Yeah. Okay. One last question. My brumansia.
Mm-hmm.
Should I be repotting it? It's in a big pot right now, but what I found is with one of them, the oldest one, it didn't have as many blooms on it this year as the other ones did.
Yeah.
So do they become root bound and have to be taken out and sort of shake the earth off and put it into a new pot?
Well, you can do that in the springtime, and they really they respond. They're a super fast growing plant. They need quite a bit of water and quite a bit of food. And when you're feeding and watering, they just perform. They're just happy campers. And,
okay, so it's better to transplant in the spring than cut them down and winter them, or cut them or leave them as a house plant.
I use them as a house plant. Mine are in full bloom in my house right now, and I'm just loving it because they're so fragrant in the evenings.
Yeah,
just
well, I didn't bring mine in. I just left mine on the deck, and they're still. Well, they're starting to die back, but I guess I was wondering about the repotting of them.
Yeah.
Do they like to be root bound, or do they like to be loose?
They like to be loose. They would just grow in anything. It's just the more root bound they are, the more water they need because they are a bit of water hungry, So it's better to go in a fairly big pot and set up some sort of automatic watering, or just, that's the plant you always water.
Yeah, those I water by hand because I look after them, but I'm quite happy with the amount of blooming, except for this one. I've got 3 of them, and one of them had 26 blossoms on it at one time this year. But that wasn't the oldest one. The oldest one only had about maybe 12 or 15, and I'm wondering whether it's too root-bound, but they're already in big pots, though.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll just have to just try leaving it, and maybe just add, do you move them outside in the spring, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so when you move them outside, is maybe just give them a little bit of like compost tea to help refresh the soil a little bit and give them a little bit more nutrient and give them a good start to the season.
So what is a real good fertilizer for them? Like I've been using 15-30-15.
Oh, that's perfect. That works great.
That's the best
just
one.
about anything, the kelp fertilizer is also really good, but pretty much anything. They just love to eat. They're just hungry.
Yeah, they're thirsty. I water mine twice a day and feed them every third day. So.
Oh yeah, they're unbelievable.
They are an expensive house plant.
Oh, they're so beautiful. I just love them so much. I'm just loving them. Mine, I've got one plant, like I say, it's got about 8 blooms on it right now in my kitchen.
Wow.
And it has absolutely zero fragrance all day, and about 7:30 in the evening, it bursts out this fragrance, and it's just fabulous. It's amazing.
I think it sort of starts to let the fragrance out as the sun goes down. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, as the sun goes down, that's when the fragrance comes out. And I guess when I bring mine into the house, which is going to happen this weekend, it's going to start blooming because I've got like a ton of little blossoms at the top of the plant.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you get them in then, because those will elongate and become beautiful, massive blooms.
Super.
Addie,
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yep.
Thank you, and hopefully see you this afternoon. Take care.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Now, we got time for one more call because we got a couple. No, we're going to take a break. We got a couple of callers waiting. Thank you for your calls, and we hope you can just hang in there because we will be with you. Ken gets a little long-winded every once in a while, and, I mean, just kidding, Ken. I love you. You know that.
I try to get a word in edgewise.
I like to bug you. Anyway, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more AM 1150 Garden Show. Yeah, we're back with you on the AM 1150 Garden Show on a sunny fall day, and we want to invite Esther to the show. Thank you for waiting, Esther.
Thanks. Yes, I've got a problem with mildew around here. I have had a beautiful dahlia in a great big pot by itself, except I had a few lovely yellow pansies around them. Mm-hmm. The dahlias bloomed beautifully, but every leaf is mildewed.
You're preaching to the choir here. I got the same thing.
Is that right?
Same thing, yeah.
And then that's the back of the house. In the front of the house, I've got this big smoke tree, and those leaves, which is very unusual. I used to love to use them in my compost because they were so beautiful in there. But this year I don't want to put them in there because they have mildew on them.
Now you're talking smoke tree, like the little round leaf?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Ken, have you seen it on smoke tree before? Tennis?
Yeah, I think I've seen it on pretty much everything, but the main thing with mildews is it's always temperature related. It has to do with the environment. And so when the temperatures outside are just right, that's when it grows. And we found this year it's been a beautiful long fall, but we have a lot of conditions right now. And for the past month or so, that's been really about perfect for the mildew to grow and to have success. So
cool evenings, warm days.
Yep. Yeah, it's been actually starting since, well, it could have something to do with the smoke, too. There's not enough sun to really...
Yeah.
Might be.
So, but I was wondering now, because... It gets into the soil, right? And I've got this great big pot of soil. Can I use that soil again?
Yeah, well, just remember that mildew is around us at all times. It's always there. It's in the air, and it's everywhere. And so it's like a very fine fungal spore, and it's there's many different species. There's probably hundreds and hundreds of species of different types, but they all have one thing in common, is that they need the right temperature to grow.
And they need the host.
They need a host. They need something to grow on. So it's less to do with what variety of plant it is, but they have found that sometimes plants that are under moisture stress, so plants that are maybe kept a bit dry or might be stressed a little bit, they will tend to be slightly more susceptible than plants that are not stressed. And so, like if we had a row of maple trees all in a row and they all were getting ample water except for the two on the end, the two on the end would be completely covered with mildew for sure. So stress is a factor affecting it, as well as temperature. So if plants are stressed out, they seem to get affected more.
And the other thing with mildew we found is that preventative measures are much better than trying to get
Cure
it suppressed when you have it. So once you have it, it's really hard to control. In the case of dahlias, if you have mildew showing up in August, then cut your dahlia right back and get rid of that foliage, and then as it regrows, you can use a prophylactic such as sulfur or copper, or what's the home
baking soda.
Baking soda is a home remedy you can use.
Baking soda and water is one of the things that really works well on mildews. So, but it's a preventative. It prevents it.
I was using like on my cucumbers, which seemed to keep it sort of under control. Was I think it was 12 teaspoons or 10 tablespoons of peroxide in 1 liter of water. That's
a good plan, too. H2O2 is an amazing product. We've found so many uses for it in gardening. So
that seemed to kind of keep it under control. But then for about 2 months there, I couldn't really look after things, and so.
Well, try the baking soda because it does work really good, and it's.
So
it's
if you
also
put
good.
it in those sprayers, though, doesn't it cake it all up?
Yeah, it does. You have to find the sprayer that works. So you sometimes you have to try a few different varieties or brands that work best, and then you make sure it's well dissolved, and you just put a small amount in. It only takes about a teaspoon per liter, but even a watering can would work. Yeah, just pour it over, pour it over the plant. But you need to do it, at least once a week, right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes they say even the peroxide every day.
Almost every day.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not phytotoxic.
I was just concerned about the soil. I didn't want to throw it all away. I mean, what do you do with it, right?
It's going to be there. Like I say, the spores are everywhere anyway, and it's going to affect plants based on what plant it is, but temperatures and how stressed out they are. Yeah.
Years ago, there was a gentleman giving a seminar on plant diseases and whatnot, and they used this triangle sort of form and saying you need a host, you need the pathogen, and you need the conditions, and that's the triangle of getting your mildew. So you got to look at each one of them.
Which one can you change?
Yeah, which one can you change? That's right.
The only one is the conditions.
Yeah,
right?
really, the conditions are what you have to change, and you can try and address the pathogen, but not once it's there and it's aggressive.
Yeah.
There's no fungicides now on the market that will totally get rid of your mildew. Okay.
Yeah, and the other thing, the peppers this year, I noticed like last year I had red and orange, and this year they just seem to stay green and stay green and stay green. Was it because of the not enough sunshine?
Well, I'm wondering about that as far as mine go too, Ken. My peppers are not nearly as prolific, and they didn't ripen as soon as they did last year, and they're in the same spot, same conditions, same varieties.
Mine were not very successful either.
Yeah.
They were poor at best. But
they did get bigger, thicker skins, and they tasted. The ones that did finally ripen a little bit, they tasted better than the ones that last year colored, and the skin wasn't as thick.
Well, interesting. Yeah, that's what makes us
from year to year
addicted to gardening. It's different every year. Yep. There you go.
Okay,
Esther, thank you for the call. We appreciate your call. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. And we have Jeanette. Good morning, Jeanette.
Good morning, you guys. I've just got a few quick questions for you. First time I've purchased a couple of, I think it's called Mandevilla.
Mandevilla?
Yeah. Now, those have to come inside, I guess, for the winter, right?
They do.
Okay. Hibiscus as well?
Yeah, the Rosa sinensis type, the tropical hibiscus. Yes, that has to come in.
Okay. So do I need to cut them all back, or do I just leave them because they're just huge? Do I just let them keep on growing and then bring them in and move them back outside once the spring comes?
It just really depends on what you have in the way of facilities. If you've got a nice big room that you can convert into a light room or a sun room, as they call it, and you can have your plants there enjoying the window, or at least rotating them to get some nice winter light. Not a lot of light in the wintertime, but you can keep those species, the hibiscus and the mandevilla, you can keep them somewhat alive. Some of the challenges you have, of course, are insect problems that you might bring in from outside. The hibiscus in particular is going to have possibly spider mite, for sure aphids, sometimes whiteflies. So you've got to really keep your eye on that, like I'm doing with my tomato in the greenhouse, just constantly a vigilance, looking under the leaves and making sure it's clean, using some safer soap, safer trounce, some of those low-impact materials that might help keep things under control, but never let them get out of hand. I mean,
and if they're big, you sometimes have to take them outside and give them a spray and then move them back in.
That's right.
That's what I was just going to say. Should I spray them down really good? I still got them outside because it hasn't quite hit freezing yet. So, and they're protected a little bit as well. So, should I give them a really good spray down maybe before I do bring them inside?
Probably a good plan, and then really do a close examination of them. If there's a significant amount of insect impact on them, then maybe cutting them back might be a good idea to leave a lot of that outside.
Okay.
And then as the new growth comes inside, you can do the squirt,
Okay, I will do that.
But that's the key thing.
My last question for you is, should I cut the grass short or leave it longer through the winter? I can't remember what the right way to do it is.
Too long is not good. in my opinion, Ken, you may differ, but too long is not good because it lays down and you get snow mold and all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
It won't hurt it to cut it short before winter, and then it'll grow a little bit here and there. And
it's growing right now, which is interesting.
It is. Ours is really growing, and we had planted new seed in September. And it looks like it must have been just at the right time because it actually is growing really well and thickening up nicely again this year. So
give it a cut, probably down to 1.5 inches or so. That should be good for the winter.
Lovely.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Thank you, Jeanette. We appreciate your call. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Now, on that note, we're going to invite more calls, 250-862-2525 to get through to us. And we're going to take a short break and be back with more AM 1150 Garden. We are back with you and enjoying every darn minute of it. It's 250-862-2525 to get through to us today on The Garden Show, on the AM 1150 Garden Show. And, how are we doing there? I guess we're on the air, right? Yeah, good. We're on the air. I'm glad.
We better be.
Well, I heard some music in the background. I thought maybe somebody had taken over the show. Martians had come down and taken over the show.
Taken over the garden show.
Taken over the garden show.
Well, you never know.
You just never know, do you?
Possible.
1950, this is probably the last time that we will be talking about October 1950 in Elaine Cameron's garden. October 27th, she said, lovely day.
Oh.
There we go.
Exactly.
64 years ago. 68 years ago. Sorry, I thought I was 64 for a minute, but I'm not. I'm 68. I was born in 1950. So 68 years ago, October 27th, lovely day. Okay, this is what Elaine Cameron was doing.
Yeah.
She dug out grass and moved Julie campanula. I guess it's a variety of campanula. Julie campanula down and reset auriculas in their place, or in her place. Oh, Julie. Oh, I see. She put her auriculas in the place of Julie campanula. Moved funkia. What's a funkia? Funkia. Moved the funkia back to the birch tree and put Huey's primula in their place. And sand and manure sprinkled over the auriculas. Now, there's an interesting thing. She put sand and manure over the auriculas. These are the primula auriculas. And then she says she put one geranium in a pot, dug out the sand poppies, to make room for more candlestick lilies. She just jotted these things down, and she had her English, or little British way of writing, so it's kind of hard to discern what she's writing sometimes. Anyway, on the 28th, it was showers. That's going to happen tomorrow. That's what they say. Yeah. On the 28th of October 1950, October 28th, showers. And then Rudy finished the lawns and edges and cut up the apple brush. In other words, they would prune the trees and whatnot, and they have all this apple brush left over. And you know what they have? Bonfire.
Yeah.
Those were the days,
Everything
Ken.
they would burn.
We went out, we'd have a bonfire. Why not, eh? Beautiful time of the year to have a bonfire, too. Funkia is, that's a hosta. Funkia is hosta.
That's what it seems
to be. It's an old
be.
word for hosta.
I guess.
Isn't that interesting? Well, we learn something new every day, and Elaine Cameron taught us that.
There you go.
Well, in conjunction with Google.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you have to have both.
Yeah, you need to have some Google every once in a while.
Yep.
Whether you need it or not, we need it.
That's right.
Sometimes.
And so then forked over the compost and barrow to auriculas and pool rockery. October 31st, lovely day again. Well, let's hope that happens here. Lovely day again. Violets and weeds from the juniper steps and perennials from the lilac bed. All lilies cut off in the border. There's the answer to our question earlier on. And tidied the candlesticks. What's a candlestick?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm wondering if it's that primula that you have.
I don't think so.
And replanted from the old plot.
I couldn't see there being something there unless it was really late blooming.
Yeah.
But maybe there's something else.
She also planted the seedling barberry on the wall top. She did something earlier on with the seedling barberry too. So there you have it. That is Elaine Cameron's diary from 1950, and we're going to put in the November part of her diary for 1950 for starting next week, and we'll talk about that. Have you ever noticed, Ken, nowadays kids, youngsters, millennials, they're walking around looking at their phones. It's a whole new thing out there.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
No,
I
know.
looking
You're
at my
looking.
phone.
There's a millennial there looking at his phone too, right there. Oh, candlestick is Ligularia.
No,
I can't see that far.
Senna, it's called.
Oh, okay.
But we don't know.
Yeah,
This is tropical.
Yeah, we don't know. That's a tropical. No, it's probably not the one.
It's probably not the one.
So they're all looking at their phones. They can't do anything else. They're not communicating one-on-one eye contact like we do every day, right?
Right.
They're actually in the same room texting each other.
Yeah.
And I saw a whole documentary on that. It's a serious thing.
Yeah.
I know we have a call. A serious thing going on. We're going back to the phone lines because that's the most important thing of the day, is not me just chatting away. And we have Wendy on the line. Good morning, Wendy.
Good morning, guys. I have pineapple lily, which I got the bulbs actually from the Seattle show, and it's been blooming just wonderfully. And I'm just so happy that it doesn't drop its blooms. It just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's in the house now. Do I just cut it right back, like, for the bulb again?
Sure.
Or what do I do with it over winter?
What is a pineapple lily?
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what the Latin name would be.
It doesn't sound like a lily if it blooms and blooms and blooms and blooms.
Well,
yeah.
that's sort of how they grow. But they're
that's a fritillaria.
The bloom looks like a pineapple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a fascinating plant, but that is an interesting question because they're not that common. Like we don't come across them that often. We do see them. I remember seeing them in the garden centers years ago. But they're just an interesting plant, and with each plant, the key is actually just doing a little bit more research on them individually, because every plant has that thing, and has their sort of list of directions, and that's one that I've seen them before, but I've never grown one. I really don't know the details of it.
Yeah,
but they look like a eucomis type plant. But
it is eucomis.
Oh, is it eucomis?
That's eucomis.
Oh, there you go. So it is eucomis. Okay, so eucomis will have a bulb type root.
Yeah.
And so you just keep it going as long as you possibly can. And then when the thing starts to fail and starts to die back, you just let it sort of die back and you dry it right out. Let it get dried right out. And then you can just put it into storage, like into a cool place in the garage. Okay. And it'll come through the winter quite nicely. It just doesn't want to freeze solid. It needs to be kept just a little bit above freezing. But it'll go dormant through the wintertime, and then in the spring you just pop it out and you cut everything off, and it'll just shoot up again and do it all over again. But it'll even be better next year because it'll be that much more mature.
It'd be kind of
like a canna.
And a colocasia, really.
Yeah.
Similar to colocasia, slightly hardy, but not hardy at all. I mean, they'll freeze. If you let them freeze hard, they're done.
But it's eucomis. But if you were to look it up, you would look under eucomis, EUCOMIS.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay,
you're welcome.
Thank you for the call. And Wendy just brought something. It reminds me of your brain. Not reminds me of your brain. It brings to light how cool your brain is. Because when you said, "Oh, it's kind of like a eucomis," I look. Yeah, it is a eucomis.
Yeah,
but it's not a lily. It's they call that's the problem with common names when they say a candlestick lily.
Yeah.
No, it's not a lily.
But what's interesting about that is that the eucomis plants that we buy, like we actually do buy a lot of different eucomis in garden centers for our outdoor annual plantings, and they're growing more for their foliage than their flowers. But there are these types that are actually grown because they do produce this massive flower that looks like almost like a pineapple. So that's where they get the name.
Lily,
pineapple lily. So it's a type of eucomis. But the eucomis that we've grown, they don't produce that much of a bloom, but they're just quite an elegant-looking leafy plant. And some of them have burgundy leaves, and some have green leaves, and they're really cool. But there's so many plants out there.
People just don't realize just how that's the beauty. of learning and understanding plants. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of them.
No.
I mean, don't be afraid because, that's what a lot of people, oh, no, I don't want to go there because there's too much going on. No, it's so fascinating, the different, the diversity of plants,
It is unbelievable. And then, like I say, is that every plant has a story, and that's why it's really nice to get the botanical name if you can. So do some research on it. Again, the Google, we talk about using Google, and it does help because if you know that botanical name, you can get right away, bam, you can get the information. And like with Eucomus, you would open that up and see that there's 30 common varieties or whatever, and some of them being these pineapple flowers.
But Wendy hit on something else too, and Ken, she bought that on one of our trips down to the States.
Right.
She bought it in
As a
Seattle.
bulb,
And I bought last year something I've enjoyed so much after I planted, and that was my foxtail lily, Arameris.
Super cool.
I bought a beautiful Arameris down there, and so now that you can find these unique little things down there.
I bought the cardiocrinum, which is the giant lily, the 12-foot high lily, right?
Yeah.
But mine didn't even make it to the fall. It died through the summer, so I didn't really get a chance to try it, see how it would overwinter. I would protect it and everything.
You sure it's dead, or is it just down below the ground?
It's dead, yeah. It's vanished.
Well, my dodecathion dies every summer, and Dan Bruce said to me, "Oh no, it's not dead. It'll come back," and it comes back every year. But it dies.
I actually dug mine up, and it had been eaten.
It's done.
It was eaten by some little
like,
crawling insects.
It's like the parrot on Faulty Tower, not Faulty Towers. But, okay.
Yeah, it's just like that
done.
parrot.
It's finished. It's gone.
Done.
It met its maker.
Yeah, but I'm going to try it again because I really think that cardiocrinum is a super cool plant, which I think we should try. No guarantees, but as a gardener, we try these things.
Keep
just
talking,
to see.
Ken, and we'll really make Gurinder mad. Okay.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Okay, we're going
All
to
right.
take a short break now. We're going to take a short break, and so Gurinder doesn't get too mad at us. We're going to take a short break. We got about 15 minutes left for your calls, and we do invite your calls, 250-862-2525. We will be back with more AM 1150 Garden Show. Too much fun we have here on a Saturday morning, and especially when it's a beautiful Saturday morning like this, and the coffee is thick. And coffee just makes you fly here.
Oh, it's fabulous stuff.
Flying coffee. That's what it is, flying coffee.
It makes the show a whole lot more interesting.
Yeah. So Ted Turton came by. Ted's building a little greenhouse in the backyard, so we're trading notes, right?
Nice,
Ted
yeah.
comes by. Anyway, I gave a rose to him the other day when he came by, and one of my Queen Elizabeth roses from the backyard, and I gave him the story about the rose, how Ruby Meyering had given it to me, and she had purchased it from my grandfather in 1952, and so I have this rose in my garden. It was sold to Ruby Meyering in 1952 by my grandfather, Arthur Burnett. And, he was quite pleased with that. And he sent me a text back showing me the rose. It holds up really well. But the beautiful part of it is the story of the fact that my grandfather had, he was 73 years old, 74 years old. And spring of 52, I was just turning 2 years old. And I do remember my grandfather Burnett at that time in 52, but barely. I mean, I can just remember how he walked, and I remember one time I was in the old Hudson Terraplane car with him, and I was in the front seat, no seat belt, of course, and not even a car seat or anything. I was just sitting in the front seat with him, and he was trying to get the thing into gear, and he was kind of cursing a bit. I don't know.
Grinding the gears,
grinding,
trying to get them.
Dad told me later in the years, he says, "Oh yeah, no," he says that would have happened because he said we couldn't get the darn thing into first gear half the time, and it was really hard, and it would grind and grind. And anyway, so got this rose bush and sold in 1952, and then the fall in 22nd of December, Grandpa was going down to visit his daughter, my aunt, in Vancouver, in a car, and it was he sort of hitchhiked a ride, didn't hitchhike, but a friend gave him a ride, and left on the 7:15 ferry, and in just short of Princeton, maybe 6 or 7 miles this side of Princeton, the car went off the road, rolled over. Grandpa was thrown 10 or 15 feet from the car. A lady in the back seat was thrown as well. The two guys in the car, one of the husband in the back seat and the driver, both of those came out with injuries, but not life-threatening. My grandfather was killed instantly, landed on a big boulder and crushed his heart. It was very sad for me to read this inquest that they had in Princeton with the police, giving evidence and all this stuff. I've got the whole thing. You can go to the BC archives in Victoria and get these old inquests and old court proceedings. As long as they're cleared and everything, and you pay $35 and you get this thing.
It's fascinating to have.
Yeah, it was.
That,
it was very very touching for me to think of my dear grandfather. My dad, I always call him my dear old dad.
Yep.
And I wished I would have seen more of Grandpa Burnett. He was he's the one that moved here in 1922 with his family and started Burnett's Nurseries on Ethel Street. And it was Burnett and Son for many years, and then it was E. Burnett for many years, and it was Burnett and Sons for many years as well. 25 years of Burnett and Sons. So there you have it. A little bit of Halloween interest. No, that was not Halloween, but Halloween's coming
history,
up. I said at the beginning of the show, Ken, it is Halloween, and you want to make sure that you are keeping those kids out on the streets safe. They have a lot of fun on Halloween, dressing up and going around picking up candy. We don't get as many kids as we used to. When we first moved to Rhonda Crescent, we got over 100 kids. Now we're up in that 25, 30, 40 maybe. And some neighborhoods don't get any. They just turn their lights off and whatever. We invite the kids to our place. We've got our granddaughter now, so she takes part, and we hand out little candy. Well, we try to avoid too much candy, but Donna has some sun-ripe stuff that she usually gives out, and but it's just fun to see the kids. Fun to see. What are you dressing up as, Ken?
I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking it's either the snuffleupagus or maybe I'm not sure. Maybe a plant.
I want to see this. I want to see this.
You never know. You never know what I'm going to show up as.
Ken Snuffleupagus Solvale.
Yep. You never know.
Okay, well, I'm going to dress up as a gardener. I'm going to be a gardener. I'm going to have my little straw hat on, and a little piece of straw hanging out of my mouth, and my shears in my hand, my rake in the other hand.
Wheelbarrow,
yeah.
Rototiller?
See, when
no
rototillers, no.
Rototillers.
But when I go from house to house, I take my wheelbarrow. Most kids, they take little bags with them to get the candy, or we used to use pillowcases.
Yeah, we used to use pillowcases.
No, I take my wheelbarrow.
That makes sense.
Take the wheelbarrow.
You can take a lot more.
You can get lots more. In fact, mine is the motorized wheelbarrow.
There you go.
How are we doing there? I guess we're ready for the tips and plants of the week.
You betcha.
Yeah. As soon as I hear the music, I'm in with my tip. Get your leaves and other yard waste into the green bin. Ken was talking about composting and leaf mold and things like that. That's true. But if you can't do that, if that's not part of your gardening thing, if you just want to clean up and that, use your green bin, because there's only 2 or 3 more pickups before they stop doing that. So it's a great service. My plant of the week is my grape tomatoes, which I've got dozens of in bowls in the house right now, ripening, and they've got several stages of ripening, and they all seem like they're going to ripen. So something to do. And that's my tip and plant of the week.
There you go. Well, I also have a tip and a plant, and my tip of the week is that as your leaves fall off your fruit trees, it will expose any of the leftover fruits that might be hiding up there. You definitely want to get rid of all those fruits and dispose of them one way or another, but if nothing else fails, you can always bury them in a hole, and that helps reduce the spread of disease and some types of insects that might overwinter in the fruit itself. So always do that every fall. And my plant of the week this week is the pyracantha, the firethorn shrub, which has the evergreen broad leaves, lots of thorns, and beautiful bright orange berries. It's a good one. Easy to grow, drought tolerant, sun tolerant, shade tolerant, relatively deer tolerant. and very prickly, self-protecting. That's my tips and plants for this week. Remember to check KelownaGardens.com and watch out for GrowerCoach.com. We'll be talking more about that in the future.
Oh, that's going to be fun. And before I forget, I'm looking for clay pots, used clay pots. Not huge ones, just little 4-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch clay pots, maybe some 10-inch. If you got some clay pots kicking around and you don't know what to do with them, I could use them. So give me a call or email me, don@thegardenexpert.com, and I will do that. Our Shigo moment of the week is many people will buy anything they believe will correct their mistakes or cover up their ignorance. Listen to that, Gurinder. No, just kidding. We love you, man. Okay, we'll see you next week with more AM 1150 Garden Show.
We still have 40 seconds.
Oh, we have 40 seconds. Oh, well, Gurinder, may I make this sincere apology to you that I said that? How's that? And what are you going to dress up as?
I mean, if I can find it, if I can get a lab coat, mad scientist. I'm trying to keep Halloween to a very low budget here.
Yeah.
Preferably between $4 to $5.
A mad scientist.
Or I might dig out an apron, get some fake blood, and splatter that all over it, and become a butcher.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So that's pretty creative.
Yeah.
On a low budget.
And walking around with a meat cleaver. I'm not coming to your house.
Don't worry, I'll come to yours.
We'll be back with more AM 1150 Garden Show next week.